Good afternoon from Apple Joe Farms. It's a beautiful fall afternoon. All the babies are out sunning themselves, and the girls have been out foraging in the woods. Well, these little kids were born Kona's babies, such as this one was born on the 20th of September. And so, yeah, say hello, Emma. And the other babies here were born on the 29th, and they're being bottle fed. So I thought I would share with you just a few tips on bottle feeding. I get a lot of questions. And these are recommendations that I've found works for me, and it's also the ones that are recommended by the Cornell University Vet Department there. Hi, Star. And so here's some of the tips. If you can't feed the mama's milk or milk from another goat, feed a good quality whole cow's milk, or find goat milk, whole goat milk. You don't need to add anything to it. You don't need to use those powdered replacers. Oftentimes they don't really do well. At least that's been my experience. And so heat the milk in a pan on the stove, or you can even submerge a bottle of milk, which is what I do, in hot water in a double boiler. And it's somewhat of a slow heating, and so you want to make sure that you have a thermometer, and the minimum amount of temperature is 100 degrees, and the highest is 103. So there's kind of a fine line there. You don't want it too hot and you don't want it too cool, or they're just not going to eat what they need to be eating or drinking. And so when your babies are born, before they get their bottle, if you're bottle feeding, make sure that their body temperature is 101 degrees before feeding. And so, you're going to have to just look at your babies and assess them on their individual needs and act accordingly. You never want to heat their milk in a microwave. It is said that destroys essential nutrients in the milk, so you don't want to do that. And just some things regarding the amount of times that you're going to feed per day with the bottle. Week 1 is going to be 4 to 6 bottles a day. And that's just, again, according to the needs of your baby. You may have a baby that's born extremely small. Well, they're going to take, smaller amounts, but more often. And week 2 to 4, 4 bottles a day. 4 to 8 weeks, 3 bottles a day. And 8 to 10 weeks, we're going to do 8 to 10 weeks, we're going to do 2 bottles a day. If you're doing 10 weeks to 12 weeks, 1 bottle a day will be plenty. And so you're weaning them down. The thing is, when you go to weaning them down, just make sure toward those last weeks that they're eating their pellets, that they're drinking water out of the container, that they're eating hay well. And when all of those things are happening well, and you're getting up to that 8 week for them, and many do 10 weeks on the doelings. But when you get to that point, they should be fully ready to eat and drink everything on their own. Now, one thing to remember is do not overfeed the babies because they can get the diarrhea, they can get really sick. So how much do you feed? Well, the rule of thumb is 20% of their weight in a 24-hour period. And what I find is like these babies here, they are taking one bottle plus a fourth of a bottle at each feeding, and I do three times a day at this age, and they're doing just fine. They're eating pellets, they're drinking little bits of water, they're eating little bits of hay, and so just feed them enough, but don't overfeed them. 20% of their weight in a 24-hour period. So, for instance, let's say that your baby weighs 1 pound. That's a preemie. So that 20% in 24 hours is going to be 3.2 ounces. A 5-pound baby is 16 ounces in a 24-hour period. That's 20% of their body weight. And an 8-pound baby is going to be 25.6 ounces in a 24-hour period. When your babies get a little bigger, like 10 pounds, you're looking at 32 ounces, which is 20% of their body weight. So those are just some guidelines to help you. I hope that this information has been of help. Please feel free to send your questions and comments to applejoefarms@gmail.com. And my phone number, if you have questions or interest in any of our babies, is 417-665-8996. And I'm constantly posting the updates about the babies on the website applejoefarms, plural, .com, applejoefarms.com. And that's where you're going to find the updated information, what's available in by the 3rd week of November. There will be 8 more does having kidded. So lots of babies, lots of choices. It's an exciting time here at Applejoe Farms. Well, folks, happy homesteading. Enjoy your fall day. Thank you for joining.